Welcome back to Debbie's Kitchen. And today we're going to be talking about legacy and legacy building. Have you ever felt like there's a legacy inside of you, but you don't know how to create that legacy? There's a difference between possessing knowledge and being acknowledged for the knowledge that you possess. Often there's a gap, and this is a huge gap, between the desire to be acknowledged and the ability to be acknowledged. When you want to leave a legacy and you want to build a legacy, but you don't know where to start. These are some of the things that you may feel, okay? Do you feel that you're able to do more at your work, but you're not given the opportunity to do so? Do you feel that there's more that you can do for your community, but you don't know where to start? Do you feel that if you could just express or show or demonstrate what you're actually capable of, that you'd have more opportunities in your life? And if those opportunities came to you because you were able to show them, then yes, you'd be able to create acknowledgement, and that acknowledgement could bring you on your path to a legacy. A legacy, not in the sense of the vanity, oh, I want to leave a legacy, but because you have so much contained inside of you and you're not able to find the routes and the paths and the outlets for the greater world to see. So yeah, no, I'm gonna do it on social media. Is that the best place for your legacy to be? Not necessarily. You can do it if you're a teacher in a school, if you're a doctor in a hospital, if you're a fireman, you can do it up in the hills during the burning fires. But how do you get known for those extra skills that are contained within you, your extra abilities, if you're not able to showcase them? So that was one of my frustrations, because the gap filling process we've been doing this for 35 plus years, but I've been doing it through, and I just want to take you through my journey of why we're doing GAPTrax and how GAPTrax can help you fulfill your legacy. As I hope, and this is one of the big impacts that I expect and hope, is that I'll be able to create mine also with all of you. Why? For the vast majority of my career, I have always been dependent. When I say dependent, ultra dependent on big decision makers making the decision to hire my services or my company to be able to come in and do gap filling processes for problems such as stagnation, qualification, competition, and results. Using the same types of resources, that toolbox that we've set up at GAPTrax, but in the bigger, broader spectrum, okay? But then where was my gap? My gap was on a dependency to be hired by decision makers. But for the most part, almost all of the work that we do is ground level up. Well, if we make the biggest impacts ground level up, and I depend on big decision makers to make it, well then I've got a gap. Because every single project that we've ever done has some type of team in it. It could be a small business with an owner and 5 employees. It could be a mid-sized business with 3 owners, 2 directors, 2 managers, and maybe 30 to 50 employees. It could be a larger family-owned business. It could be a non-for-profit organization. It can be a school district where you have superintendents and you have staff and you have school principals and you have teachers, you have the family and the community. Take a non-for-profit with operations in various areas around the world. And inside those operations, you have a headquarters, and in one country, you have operations worldwide, but you have all of that mass of people that are in field doing the work. To be able to take these gap filling process, to close gaps within organizations, it doesn't matter if it's non-for-profit, for-profit, big, large, small, but to be able to do it, a decision maker will come and say, we want you to help us. Okay, let's put a project together. Okay, now come and do the project. And the project would always starts at the base of identifying and pinholing where those gaps lie. Stagnation, qualification, competition, results. What types are there? Is there a disparity, inactivity, discontinuity? Oh, what can cause those gaps? Is it caused by bigger than life happenings? Education, we had a lot of projects in education during the pandemic, a bigger than life happening. Other causes, ageism, technology at high speeds. So we start working, and then we start working through where is everybody on the same page? Does everybody see the same problems? Do they identify the same problems, first of all? Or are problems identified in different areas by different people because they're affected differently by a set of problems? So all of that mapping that comes together in the beginning of one of our projects in in a big infield project, that can take 4 to 6 months. But by doing that, who do we work with? We work with the everyday people that are there working day in, day out and doing it. But that decision was made way higher up for us to come in. And then we start going up, and then we start at the top, and then we start coming down, and we start meeting in the middle, and then we start reframing. But the toolbox has always been the same. How many tools we apply, how we structure the framework, that can vary. But there's a set toolbox. It's like the guy that came to fix my garage when my dad crashed into the car. He came with this big, huge toolbox. He didn't use all of the tools in it because he didn't need all of the tools. During the pandemic, we were contacted by individuals around the world that had heard of our work or word of mouth, whatever it may be. And these individuals started asking me, how can you help me? How can you help me? Well, I can't help thousands of individuals that can't afford the services, that don't have the time and do one, it's not humanly possible. And then as we were in lockdown, I'm like, well, now everything is, recorded, education, online platforms and learning. But how do we take this massive toolbox? And it was a complicated process because I'm like, how do I take this toolbox and how do I explain it? Because when we do the projects in field, and here's another gap that I identified in the beginning, was, okay, we have the toolbox, we do the dynamics, but then what? We have feedback, they're dynamic sessions, thought partnering, we talk through it, we walk through it. Is it humanly possible to take that toolbox, shrink-a-dink it down for individuals around the world? Well, set out to do it. And when I sat down to do this, I said, here it is. I know that I'm not at my full potential. Mid-50s, been doing this for a career. I've had a great career. Couldn't be happier, but I wasn't as happy as I should be. Because when individuals started reaching out during COVID, I said, there's an entire world of people. And I need to be able to reach them without depending on their higher ups. But they don't even know we exist. They don't know what gap filling is. They don't know how this will change their lives and transform their lives until a decision is made for them. So how do I communicate that? Well, I can't communicate it if I'm not focused on a final impact. So I went back to our toolbox, opened our toolbox, and started with impact. What impact do I want to make? What impact can I make? What impact can the GAPTrax community make amongst and within itself without being dependent on me? Because we need to take out dependency. So when learner after learner after learner after learner goes on and they use that toolbox, can we create a legacy? And I started getting really into this whole concept of legacy. It's not my legacy, it's everybody's legacy. Have you ever felt like your pent-up knowledge and skills are not showcased? Well, if I have the toolbox and I share my toolbox and I give you the opportunity to use that toolbox, then each and every individual can create their own legacy, and GAPTrax can be a worldwide legacy. So I want you to stop to think about this. Under-acknowledged, underrepresented, not heard, not seen, not acknowledged, wanting to do more, able to do more, able to make a difference, wanting to make a difference in whatever world, even if you're a grandparent that's helping raise your grandchildren. How does each individual use this toolbox to extract above and beyond more than they ever dreamed of? And so for 1.5 years, we sat down behind the scenes and we looked at every single one of those tools in that toolbox and said, can't be an industrial toolbox. It can't be a toolbox used just for professionals. It has to be one of those toolboxes that you go to Home Depot or whatever country you're in, your little construction home fix-it thing, and you bring this little toolbox and you open it up and there's simple instructions and you do it, and you have YouTube videos that you can go to refer to, or GAPTrax videos, whatever. You have these tools made for you in a do-it-yourself. And how can we make this legacy happen if different than everything I've done in my entire life where there's feedback? Because on an online course, there's no feedback. Well, there can be feedback. That's why we're creating this community. Feedback through our social media, inter-exchanges with and amongst yourselves. And so here's the challenge I want to pose. As you go through GAPTrax, as you go through the lessons, you have the assignment. Some people are going to do it double screen. Some people are going to do it through a PDF online. I would suggest, if you have access to a printer, to print out the assignments, to be able to work through them hands-on, literally hands-on, and to show them. And start telling us about your journey. How is this journey through GAPTrax? How is using all of the tools, the processes, and the framework that is available to you helping you show that you are more than you're known for, to be able to create your own legacy? I'll see you on GAPTrax, and together, let's build a global legacy of being more, doing more, showing more, being acknowledged, being seen, being heard, and being independent. The independence portion of this, to me, is one of the most important parts, because if you can do this independently, then you're not dependent on other people making life-changing decisions for you. See you on GAPTrax.